Good afternoon, baseball fans. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Volunteer State Community College for Game 3 of the TCCAA Baseball Conference Tournament. Game 3 will feature the visiting Volunteer State Pioneers, who are standing in their home dugout down the third base line. They are the number 6 seed, and they will take on the number 3 seeded Southwest Tennessee Salukis. Southwest Tennessee comes in with a record of 41-14. They were 16-10 in the conference. Pioneers 30-21 overall, 14-13 in the conference. These two teams played down in Southwest Tennessee in Millington at USA Stadium back in April, just a little over a month ago, and Southwest Tennessee defeated VolState 2 out of 3 games. Pioneers won game 1 6-5 on the back of 6 solo home runs. Able to hold on. Cade McKee got the win. Peyton Charles took the loss. Game 2, which was the doubleheader on, I believe we played that on a Friday and Saturday. 10-9 win by Southwest Tennessee. A walk-off base hit by B.J. Banyan. Losing pitcher Cade Sanders. And the winner was Hayden Collins. Then in game 2, this same matchup we're going to see today, Colton Brumley against Parker White. And Southwest Tennessee took that one 12-5 to win the series. This is Tim Reese with my producer Reagan Smith, and as I said, this is game 3. Game 1 was won by Dyersburg State today over Columbia State 4-2. Game 2 saw Walters State defeat Roane State 11-1 in a 6-inning mercy rule. Still got that out on the scoreboard, do we? As the umpires have shown up, and let's get to the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups. First for the visiting Volunteer State Pioneers, leading off playing shortstop, Ethan Huddleston. In center field, batting second, Jake Burris. Landon Gotze at first base. He will bat third. Jace Mizell in right field, hitting cleanup. Carter Vrabel at third base, batting fifth. The DH today for head coach Jim McGuire, Landon Luderman. He'll bat sixth. Braden Vineyard behind the plate, batting seventh. Big J. Charla out in left field, hitting eighth. And Matt Hall at second base, batting ninth. And on the mound, Parker White, left-handed freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. As head coach Jim McGuire and Braden Kale, the pitching coach, sending the freshman out to face the number 3 seed Salukis, who have a .347 conference batting average, second in the conference. Here's the Salukis lineup. As you see head coach Eric Schoenrock coming out to visit with Jim McGuire and our 3 umpires for game 3. Tui Cope will lead off playing second base. Anthony Zarlingo out in left field, batting second. Third baseman Tyler Harrington, the player of the year in the TCCAA, will hit third. Brady Holloway, first base, will hit cleanup. Bryce Turner, the DH, batting fifth. R.H. Franklin out in right field, he'll hit sixth. B.J. Banyan, the walk-off winning hitter for game 2 of the series a month ago, is in center field and he'll bat seventh. Connor Brinkley at shortstop, hitting eighth. Copeland Bradford batting ninth, and he will catch. Colton Brumley, right-hander from Bartlett, Tennessee, just outside of Memphis, in his second year with the Salukis. Spent his first 2 years in junior college right here at Volunteer State. He has pitched 4 years of junior college baseball. Only 2 of them counted. 2 were COVID year 20 and 21 that junior college does not recognize. And now he transferred back home to Southwest Tennessee and has had 2 excellent seasons. Number 2 in the country in strikeouts for pitchers. Comes in with 120 strikeouts. tied for the lead with most wins. He has 12 on the season. Colton Brumley has a 4.05 ERA, 12-2 on the season. This will be his 15th appearance, all starts. He has 8 complete games. Doesn't typically pitch, I don't think, in the 9-inning game during the conference weekend. Typically pitched, I believe, a 7-inning ball game. 86 innings, 70 hits given up, 44 runs, 39 earned, walked 35, struck out 120 batters, opponents hitting .213. He has hit 14 batters. Parker White pitching in game number 13 for him, 12th start of the year, 3.60 ERA, and Parker White was named to the all-second team starting pitcher. He, along with Braden Matthews, Landon Crumley, and Matthew Gist, were the starting pitchers on the second team all-TCCAA from Knoxville, Tennessee, Knoxville West High School. He will have a tough task today to try to shut down this high-powered offense for Southwest Tennessee. Umpires for today's game behind home plate, Brian Sheets, who did the end of continuation game yesterday, was behind the plate. Jake Wolf will be out at first base, and Tim Taylor down at third. The same crew will finish up today's action, just rotating to the left. We are about set. No national anthem before game number 3. Pioneers, comfortable territory in that they're in their dugout, but don't typically lead off, come to the plate first. So that will be a little bit unusual. Normally they're running out to their positions in the field, and then we'd have the national anthem typically, and visiting team would bat first. But Colton Brumley will be out on the mound for the Salukis. Game 1 play-in game started on Sunday. Actually, it was completed on Sunday. Roan State defeated Cleveland State in a mild upset. Actually, a little more than a mild upset, as Roan State was 3-23 in conference play. Cleveland State, I believe, had 11 wins in conference. So they had won 8 more games in the conference than Roan State had, but they were defeated 10-7 in the play-in game number 2 that took 2 days to complete. Motlow State defeated Jackson State 10-4. That was the only game that was played, and 7 innings of that game was played yesterday and completed. As I said, today, Dyersburg State defeated Columbia 4-2. Walters State defeated Roan State 11-1. Softball action today. Walters State defeated Roan State 7-0. Chattanooga State defeated Jackson State 8-1. And the first losers bracket game should be finishing up over on the VolState Sports Network as well. Have to check on that, see how that game is going. After that, Motlow State will face Jackson State. A loser will go home, and the winner will keep playing. Looks like they have that down as game 3. So they are getting ready for the Jackson State-Motlow State game. Cleveland State and Roan State must have already concluded. Game time was scheduled for 4:30. We'll get a little bit of a late start. Again, for the Pioneers, Ethan Huddleston, Jake Burris, Landon Godsey, Jace Mizell, Carter Vrabel, Landon Luderman, and followed by Braden Vineyard, Jay Charlotte, and Matt Hall. Defensive lineman for Salukis is Anthony Zarlingo in left, B.J. Banyan in center, R.H. Franklin in right field, Tyler Harrington at third base, Connor Brinkley at short, Tui Cope at second, Brady Holloway at first base, Copeland Bradford behind the plate catching Colton Brumley. Team ERA in the conference is 8.01. Colton Brumley is one pitcher that brings that ERA down, and we are about set for baseball. First pitch to Ethan Huddleston inside, and we are underway at 4:33 Central Time. Game time temperature 80 degrees. Brumley has had an outstanding season. That ball's popped up to R.H. Franklin out in right field, and he has a long run, and about 3 steps before the foul line, he makes the grab for out number 1. Ethan Huddleston and Colton Brumley were teammates a couple of years ago, as well as Jake Burris, who's stepping into the plate, the pride of Grove City, center fielder for Volunteer State. Will hit again for probably the 3rd time off of his former teammate, Colton Brumley. Brumley faced the Pioneers a year ago it was a play-in game. Pioneers were the 7th seed and Southwest Tennessee was the 10th seed. Brumley started that game, did not figure in the decision, but Southwest Tennessee ended up on the top of the Pioneers there, 11-8, moved on to the conference tournament. There's a ground ball to short. Brinkley up with it, and low throw to first base. Brady Holloway makes the catch, and after that, everything went wrong. Holloway dropped the ball and then threw it into left field, but the out was recorded nonetheless, 6-3, 2 outs. Stepping to the plate, second team all-conference first baseman Landon Godsey steps in. Godsey hitting .382, played in every game for the Pioneers. Leads the squad with hits with 65. Tied for the lead with doubles at 15. He checks his swing and fouls that one softly over the Salukis dugout. Landon Godsey and Carter Vrabel have 15 doubles on the season. Jace Mizell with 14. He's standing on deck. Sidearm delivery. Godsey able to hold up. They'll check down with first base umpire Jake Wolf, who says no, he did not go. After several days of rain, it's nice seeing the sun out. Another sidearm delivery. There's a line drive into right field. Pioneers have their first hit of the ball game. Landon Godsey, folks, is just a hitter. He's committed to go to Belmont University here in Nashville. He's from Indianapolis, a true sophomore here at VolState. Hit .360 a year ago as the backup catcher. Hitting .382 with now 171 official at-bats, and that batting average will go up a little bit. And here's your conference leader in home runs, Jace Mizell. Swings it to first pitch, pops one up into shallow right field. R.H. Franklin will come in, and he's still coming, and he'll make the catch. For out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Just getting started here in game number 3. Pioneers put a 0 on the board in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first. You're watching TCCAA Baseball Conference Tournament action on the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese and Reagan Smith back for the bottom of the first inning. Looks like we're going to have a change of a rosin bag. Home plate umpire Brian Sheets went out to retrieve a rosin bag. I'm not sure if pitcher now is going to have to carry his own rosin bag out there or not. I'm not sure. We shall see. I haven't seen that all year long. Parker White out on the mound. Tui Cope in the box, ready for the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Cope, in there for a called strike. Cope from Middle Tennessee, Antioch here in Tennessee, suburb of Nashville. White misses just outside. He went to John Overton High School. Some famous people went there, like Caleb Pika and Tanner Bumbalow. And a guy most of you probably heard of, Mookie Betts. 6'1", 175-pound outfielder. Bats left. Man on deck, I believe, is a switch hitter. Anthony Zarlingo, breaking pitch. Catches the corner at the letters. Cope hitting .357. He gets another base hit right there, lead off single. Cope has some pretty good wheels, so got to be paying attention when he's on base. 36 stolen bases.
Now batting for Southwest, number 2.
Anthony Zarlingo steps to the plate, switch hitting left fielder. Cope leads the conference, 36 steals. Parker White looking right at him and delivers a pitch inside to Zarlingo. Anthony from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Just outside of Memphis, 5'11", 155 pounds, sophomore. Breaking pitch, misses outside. Zarlingo ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, hitting .333 on the season. And the player of the year in the conference on deck, Tyler Harrington. Popped up down the right side. That probably will get out of play and get over the head of those fans sitting in the high bleachers just on the other side of the visiting dugout. Today, the home team dugout will get into the trees. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. Zarlingo with 57 hits, 13 doubles, 3 triples, 1 home run, 44 RBIs. Here's a throw over to first base. Landon Gotze has to step over Cope to make the catch there. VolState middle infield playing a double play depth. Huddleston at short, Matt Hall at second base. Been a double play combination for a little while. Another throw over. Big J Charla in left, Jake Burris in center, and Jace Mizell in right. Carter Vrabel at third and Landon Gotze at first. Braden Vineyard behind the plate catching Parker White. They got him picked off. Landon Gotze will catch and deliver a throw to Huddleston. That looks like the old 1 to 3 to 6 to 3 to 4, I think is how that pickoff goes, but I'm just going to put a pickoff on there. Matt Hall gets the put out. Count now 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, and nobody on. Parker White goes to work on Anthony Zarlingo and delivers a fastball outside. Four games today, 4 games tomorrow, as Zarlingo tips that into the mitt. We'll have our first full count, Ministries full count of game 3. Line and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Parker White gets his first strikeout of the ball game. He doesn't throw it hard, he just locates. And we've had 2 throws into the outfield. Working the kinks out here, folks.
Next to bat for Southwest.
2 outs. Tyler Harrington
Number 6,
stepping in.
Tyler Harrington.
Young man has had a heck of a year. Transfer from Memphis University, hitting .445. Leader in the conference in hits with 81. He looks at a fastball right down the can. Second in the conference. He came into today's action with 69 RBIs. Corbin Shaw had a boatload of them. I think he finished with 6. I might have credited him with 7, thinking he was going to get an extra RBI as he had runners second and third, and he singled, but final score of that game was 11-1, not 12. 0-2 pitch, misses outside. Harrington, 81 hits, 69 RBIs, 11 home runs. Changeup misses down. Corbin Shaw coming into today's action, 67 hits, was 14 behind Tyler Harrington, but he had 4 today. So as we stand right here, 10 behind Tyler Harrington, who's now worked an 0-2 count to full count. Full Count Ministries, full count. Go to fullcountministries.com and see all that the ministry's doing in baseball around the country, and he'll draw a walk. Probably not the first one he's had this year. That's 21 now. Actually not as many as I thought he would have had. Conference leader is Caleb Marmo with 45. So
Now batting for Southwest, number 34.
Brady Holloway
Brady
steps in.
Holloway.
He also had consideration for all conference. Second team, I'm sure. Hit .349. Steps in there, lefty on lefty matchup. Holloway from Proctor, Arkansas, 6'2", 220-pound sophomore. He can drive a ball a long way. There's a fastball in there for a called strike. Holloway has a 10-game hitting streak on the line. It is the longest of his year. He now has an 11-game hitting streak as he strokes one into right field. Mizell up with it cleanly. He will throw to second base. Runners will be on the corners, line to line. On the corner, second hit of the inning for Southwest Tennessee. And except for a pickoff of Tui Cope, that would have been the first run of the ball game.
Now batting for Southwest, number 0.
Bryce Turner steps to the plate. He's the DH. 9 for 27 in his last 10 games, a double and 5 RBIs, and he is a second-team all-conference DH. Swing and a miss. Parker White trying to work his way out of 2 out and 2 on after walking Tyler Harrington. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. They stopped by Vineyard on a changeup. Long look into Vineyard. He has the sign, comes set and delivers. Popped up, that will get out of play. An MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side. Thanks to our sponsors all year long for this broadcast. It's brought Volunteer State Pioneers baseball and now TCCAA conference tournament action to you on the VolState Sports Network. Nice clear windows we're looking through thanks to MGM Industries. See if the runner goes here on the 2-2 pitch. He does not. Net fastball sails high. Count goes full. Full count Ministries, full count. I broadcast for the Full Count Rhythm in the summer and use their equipment for the VolState broadcast, and now here for this conference tournament. Runner at first will be heading off with the pitch. Let's see if Parker does deliver. He does, and it will go outside. That's the second walk of the inning. See if that will draw a visit from Braden Kale, the pitching coach. Loads the bases, and out of the dugout comes Braden Kale, first year assistant coach for Jim McGuire here at VolState. He will talk to the young left-hander before he faces R.H. Franklin, a left-handed hitter. Tui Cope led off with a base hit into left field, but after several pitches, he decided he wanted to go to second base. He guessed wrong as Parker White threw over to first base. Landon Gotze able to deliver a final throw to Matt Hall to get Cope on the rundown. Zarlingo struck out. Then Parker White walked Tyler Harrington, gave up a single to Brady Holloway, and has now walked Bryce Turner to load the bases with 2 outs. R.H. Franklin from Germantown, Tennessee, Houston High School, 6'1", 205-pound sophomore. For his last 29. And now that's a base hit into right field. 1 run will score. He'll come the second runner to the plate. Throw is late. That is a 2-out, 2-run single by R.H. Franklin. Bryce Turner moves up to second base. And that is the Framework Athletics first run of the game, and Southwest Tennessee takes the early lead 2-0. Thanks to Zach Duke and Ryan McDuffie over at Framework Athletics for their
number 20, BJ
support of Volunteer State athletics. BJ Banyan steps in, center fielder. He drives the ball into left field. That is down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Charla will try to cut the runner at the base at second. Tag is late. A run-scoring double by B.J. Banyan. Southwest Tennessee now leads 3-0, and Connor Brinkley steps in. 4th hit of the inning. 4 hits and 2 walks. 3 runs have scored. And that will get some action in the Pioneer bullpen. Two outs, 2 on. Brinkley started to go, but I believe the pitch was called a strike. He's the 8th batter come to the plate here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Tapped to Vrabel. He'll try to let that go foul. Smart move by Carter Vrabel. He saw the spin on that, and he's played that third base all year long, and he knows where that ball is going to bounce. Lets that one go foul. Otherwise, probably an infield single and an RBI, as R.H. Franklin would have scored easily. Count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Outfield playing straight away for Connor Brinkley from Marion, Arkansas, 6'4", 195-pound switch hitter. That 0-2 pitch way outside. Brinkley playing in game number 33 of the year, hitting .253, 19 hits, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. Trying to drive in 2 more here for Southwest Tennessee, and we'll look at another outside fastball. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thanks for joining us on the VolState Sports Network. This is Tennessee Community College Athletic Association, also known as TCCAA or TCCAA, tournament action. Breaking pitch misses down low. Vineyard unable to glove it, but keeps it right in front of him, and we'll have another Full Count Ministries full count. Number 9 hitter Copeland Bradford on deck. Three-two pitch, fouled off. Our first full count, first pitch foul ball of the day. They'll do it again. 3-2 pitch from Parker White. Another foul ball off to the right side. MGM Industries foul ball. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Vineyard. He's trying to get it. He will not be able to get that ball. A run will score. Official scoring on that play. That will end up being a pass ball, I would assume, on Braden Vineyard. Pitch was high, but second strikeout for
Now batting for Southwest, number 35.
Parker White. Be an unearned run. R.H. Franklin scores 4-0 Southwest. Nightmare inning for Parker White and the Pioneers. On the play, B.J. Banyan moves down to third. We'll have a line-to-line first and third situation. Copeland Bradford, the catcher. We got a different number on the back of that jersey than I have. Do you have a number on your lineup card, Qualls? What number do you have? You have 35 for him? I wrote down 37 for some reason. So that's a broadcaster error. Write that down as an EB, I guess. Error on the broadcaster. I think I've kept it under 10 today so far. Maybe. There's a pitch that missed somewhere. Apparently a little bit up. 3 balls and a strike to the number 9 hitter, Tui Cope, standing on deck. Copeland Bradford from Lebanon, Tennessee. There's a strike called. Getting a lot of pub for Full Count Ministries here in the bottom of the first. Another Full Count Ministries full count. Runner on first will be going on the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bradford. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Only 2 of them were retired. All 9 batters come to the plate for Southwest Tennessee, and they push across 4 runs, 3 earned on 4 hits. Not an error per se, but the pass ball is considered an error, and 2 runners left on base. 4-0 Southwest Tennessee has taken the early lead here in game number 3 over the Pioneers of VolState. You are watching the VolState Sports Network. Carter Vrabel leads off for the Pioneers
For Ball State.
in the top
Number
of the
10,
second inning.
Carter Vrabel.
An 11-game hitting streak for Carter. That's the longest of the year for him. Last 10 games, 19 hits. He drives one out to center field, but that will be right at B.J. Banyan. 1 pitch, 1 out. Vrabel hit it hard, but right at the center fielder.
Now batting for Ball State, number 20, Landon Luderman.
Landon Luderman, the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, steps to the plate. Sees a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Luderman hitting .227, playing in game number 18 of the year. Fouls that one off into the parking lot off to the left side. 10 hits in 44 at-bats, 1 double, 9 RBIs. All of his games played have been in the DH spot. He will ground to Tui Cope. Gets it on 2 hops and over to Holloway for out number 2. Braden Vineyard will step in. 2 outs and nobody on.
Next to bat for Ball State, number 37, Braden Vineyard.
Breaking pitch that Vineyard started to offer, and according to the first base umpire, said he did offer. 0-1 to Vineyard. Another swing and a miss. Across campus, the Lady Bucks taking on the Lady Green Jays. Motlow State versus Jackson State. Strike 3 called. 3 pitches, and Braden Vineyard will go put the catcher's equipment back on. First strikeout for Brumley, and he gets a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second inning. Head to the bottom. See if we have a new pitcher on the mound for Vol State. We'll tell you about him as soon as we return on the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers in relief of Parker White. Number 26, Cade Sanders from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Hendersonville High School redshirt sophomore. Sanders on for his 15th appearance, which leads the Pioneer pitching staff, all in relief. Has a 1-2 record, 4.63 ERA, 23 plus innings, giving up 21 hits, 16 runs, 12 were earned, 12 walks, 23 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .233 off of the right-hander from Hendersonville, Tennessee, 5'10", 205 pounds. He is on to, again, try to shut this high-powered Salukis offense. Down Tui Cope will lead off the inning again at a base hit to left field, but was picked off later by Parker White. If he hadn't been, that would have been an even bigger inning for Southwest Tennessee. First pitch around the feet of Tui Cope. I'm sure he doesn't like that too much, and is a base stealer, and got to be careful. I'm sure he'll lay down a bunt from time to time. Carter Vrabel is 4 or 5 steps back from the base path at third base. Landon Gotze is back. Swing and a miss. Slider that dove down to his feet. Ball and 2 strikes. Cope has to get out of the way of that one. Says he's 6'1", 175. He might have lost a few pounds during the year. Breaking pitch misses outside. We'll have another full count. Ministries full count. Three-two pitch in the dirt. Parker White had 2 walks that got him in trouble in the first inning, and that's the first walk for Cade Sanders.
Now batting for Southwest, number 2, Anthony Zarlingo.
Parker White ended with 3 strikeouts. About 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 runs, only 3 was earned in his 1 inning of work today. Anthony Zarlingo swinging from the left side of the plate. He struck out in his first at-bat. That missed somewhere. I have no idea where that one missed. Two balls, no strikes. Pitches are pretty close around the plate based on the wider zones that we've seen earlier today. That fastball misses high and outside. 3-0. Cade Sanders, at least according to Brian Sheets, is struggling to find the plate here in the bottom of the second inning. 4-0 Southwest Tennessee. There's a 3-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Josh Griffin saying, let's go Nears. Last year's shortstop for VolState. Swinging a fly ball down the left field line. Jay Charla, a long run. That ball will twist and turn and get into the Pioneer pen. Somebody made a play down there. Is that Chase Birdwell? That is the mustachioed one from Lebanon High School, Lebanon, Tennessee. We have a full count. Ministries full count. But first, a throw over to first base. See if Tui Cope napping. Cope happy to have a non-left-hander on the mound. He's going on the pitch, and there's a sliced ground ball to Carter Vrabel. Throws to first. Backhanded catch by Landon Gotze, and the throw back to Carter Vrabel will get Tui Cope trying to move up an extra 90 feet. So that's basically a double play. Grounded into the 5-3-5. Do that double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Cade Sanders. Now 2 outs. Nobody on. Tyler Harrington bats again with nobody on, and Matt Hall knocks that one down and recovers, throws to Landon Gotze to get Tyler Harrington. That looked like trouble there as Matt Hall dropped that ball, but he was able to get the hop back up into his glove and threw on the run to Gotze to retire Harrington. Unique way to get it, but 3 up, 3 down. We're heading to the top of the third. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Pioneers
Leading off the top of the
down
third
4
for
runs,
VolState.
send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate here in the top of the third inning. Big Jay Charlo steps in there, the left fielder, to face Colton Brumley. Brumley serves a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Jay Charlo from Murfreesboro Riverdale High School. Drives one out to right field. This is deep. That ball is up against the fence. Jay Charlo is thinking 3. He rounding second base. Throw comes into the shortstop. Big Jay Charlo will have a triple. He is excited. Big Jay Charlo about missed second base, it almost looked like. He was so amped up to get over there to third. R.H. Franklin had a long way to go to get that one, but that is the first triple of the year for Charlo, the 9th triple for the Pioneers.
Number 2, Matt Hall.
Matt Hall steps in, second baseman. Looks at a breaking pitch and misses low and away. Matt Hall from Lexington, Kentucky, a sophomore. 5'8", 160 pounds. He looks at a called strike. Lead-off triple by Jay Charlo. Another fastball right down the middle, looked like. Matt Hall must have been thinking Brumley was going to come with something off speed there. Now down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ball that gets away. Jay Charlo will try to score. And the throw from the catcher to Colton Brumley and not in time. And that is about as wild a pitch as you're going to see. Colton Brumley with his 10th wild pitch of the year. And the Pioneers are on the board 4-1. Matt Hall now looking at a 2 ball and 2 strike count. Popped up into shallow right field. R.H. Franklin will now come in on it and make the catch. That's his 3rd put out of the game. Colton Brumley looked like he got a little ticked off on that one as he was firing that one to the plate. Top of the lineup, Ethan Huddleston steps back in. He flew out to right field in his first at-bat. From Gallatin, Tennessee, he's another local player. Breaking pitch misses outside. Redshirt sophomore, 3rd-year player for VolState. playing game number 45 of the year. Breaking pitch just misses. Dave Holbrook listening up in Grove City says, let's go number 14 in the Pioneers. Number 14 will now come to the plate after Ethan Huddleston gets hit by that pitch. Jake Burris steps in. He grounded out too short.
Now batting for VolState, number 14, Jake Burris.
Looks like that got Huddleston on the, maybe in the ribs there. One out, one in and one on. MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side. Over in the softball complex, Cleveland State defeated Roane State in their third game of the day, and now Motlow State is playing Jackson State. It's the last game of the year. Some of the Lady Pioneers have shown up over here at the Pioneer Field, the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex, to watch the men's team. 4-1, Southwest Tennessee leads. Jake Burris, nice play by third baseman Tyler Harrington, but his throw to second base knocks the glove off of Tui Cope. Looked like a pretty good throw from his knees at Harrington. So that's gonna need to be an error. Fielder's choice for Jake Burris. That will be an error on Tui Cope on the catch. Not sure what happened there, but Ethan Huddleston would have been out if Cope could have held on to the ball.
For VolState, number 30, Landon.
But an error on Southwest Tennessee, and the Pioneers have runners at first and second with one out. Landon Godsey, who singled into right field in the first inning, now at the plate. Godsey now with a 3-game hitting streak. He has the longest hitting streak of the season for the Pioneers. 13-game hitting streak, swings through that fastball. His last 10 games, 13 for 34, 4 doubles, 4 home runs, and 14 RBIs. Only Jace Mizell's had a better last 10 games. He's got 19 RBIs, and he's standing on deck. Godsey could tie it up with a swing of the bat. They've been trying to right there on a breaking pitch. Swings right through it. And down at the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pioneers have 2 hits on the game. Single by Godsey in the first and a triple by Jay Charlotte to lead this inning off. Swing and a miss. Godsey got his money's worth in that at-bat, but could not put the bat on the ball against Colton Brumley. That's Brumley's second strikeout.
Now batting for VolState.
In the second out of the inning, Jace Mizell, 17 home runs, 5 in the last 10 games. First team outfielder, first team all-conference outfielder. Had a fantastic year. Sidearm delivery, slow breaking pitch. He's committed to go to Trevecca Nazarene University here in Nashville. So his grandparents, the Rices, before the game, would assume Mizell clan sitting out there in left field. Fastball misses out. Keith Bell from South Korea says, let's go Pioneers. Thanks for hitting the chat on the YouTube. Drive into left field. That's down for extra bases. Here comes Huddleston. Burris is getting waved around by Coach McGuire, and the relay throw is not handled. That's a 2-run double by Jace Mizell. RBIs 59 and 60 on the year for Jace Mizell. Pioneers now within one. Second hit of the inning. Unearned runs is that error.
Carter Vrabel.
Looming large now for the Salukis. Carter Vrabel steps in. He smoked a line drive to center fielder B.J. Banyan on the first pitch that he saw. See if he goes after the first one again. He will not attempt to swing at that breaking pitch that misses way out. 2 hits in the inning. A hit by pitch. And then a fielder's choice with an error have helped the Pioneers score 3 runs. Shot to deep left center field. Back goes Arlingo, and he will make the catch at the base of the fence for the 3rd out. Pioneers scratch for 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 big error, and 1 runner left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Southwest Tennessee leads 4-3. You are watching TCCAA action on the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese and producer Reagan Smith back at VolState, where we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4 runs scored for Southwest Tennessee in the bottom of the 1st, and 3 runs scored for VolState in the top of the 3rd. We're at 4-3. Cade Sanders back out on the mound. He throws one down in the dirt, and that catches a piece of Braden Vineyard. Not sure where it got him, but Vineyard is bent over, and he's looking a little wobbly back there. Not sure if that came up and got him in the neck or not, but he does not look good. Justin McKinney, the athletic trainer for VolState Athletics. Pitching coach Braden Kale out to check on the catcher as well, and head coach Jim McGuire now standing out. Can't tell if that got him in the neck. I'll tell you, he's stumbling around right now. I don't know how. Home plate umpire is motioning for something to be brought, and now it's water. Assistant coach John Ripel will come out with a cup of water. If you add a couple Tylenol to that, it might help you, but I don't know. Unless he just, I don't think he's suffering from dehydration, but I'm guessing that ball must have hit him up in the neck area. Coach McGuire is talking to him right now. Caleb Hawkins, excellent defensive catcher and was the starting #1 catcher a year ago. Braden Vineyard's taking the roll over from Caleb Hawkins, but it looks to me like Coach McGuire is motioning into the dugout to have Caleb Hawkins put the gear on, and he will come out. Braden Vineyard will come out of this ball game. The first pitch in the third inning. I say he's coming out. And he is. Okay. So Caleb Hawkins going to get a couple pitches as Braden Vineyard being walked off the field by Justin McKinney. I don't even think if I looked at a replay if I could tell where that ball hit Braden, but he's not acting like it's hitting him in a vulnerable area in the middle part of his body. He's acting more like that ball was caught him maybe up in the throat or the neck area. He was stretching that neck out, but Caleb Hawkins from Stewart's Creek High School, redshirt sophomore in the game for the Pioneers. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to Brady Holloway.
Number 17, Caleb Hawkins.
So Sanders will deliver to Caleb Hawkins, who misses that pitch. Home plate umpire Brian Sheets is saying, okay, what are we doing here, folks? That ball hit. Home plate umpire Brady Holloway extended his hitting streak to 11 games in the first at-bat and lines one or grounds one hard down that right field line. Goes foul. So Holloway 1 game away from the longest hitting streak of the year for a Saluki, and that's Tyler Harrington, who had a 12-game hitting streak earlier. Another ball out of the zone. Count goes 3 balls and 1 strike. Holloway in his last 10 games, 17 for 35. Just under 500 and has 2 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs in the last 10 games. He has 18 RBIs, and he'll take a walk to lead off the bottom of the third. Second walk given up by Cade Sanders.
Now batting for Southwest, number 0.
Bryce Turner will step to the plate. From Patriot, Indiana, just outside of Cincinnati. 6'1", 205-pound freshman. Sanders misses with that pitch. Sanders going to be looking for a do-dat double play here. Had one earlier, and very unconventional double play, the 5-3-5 double play. Smacked out to center field. Jake Burris patrols out there, and now he starts coming in. Will make the catch for the first out. Bryce Turner now 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the first. Brings it to play R.H. Franklin. Who singled into right field in the first inning, drove in 2 runs.
Next to bat for Southwest. Number
First
22,
2 runs of the game,
R.H.
2 out, single with the bases loaded. R.H. Franklin swings from the left side. Pitch misses high. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt of Caleb Hawkins. R.H. Franklin, L-A-N-D is how his last name finishes. Playing in game number 46 of the year. Came in with 32 hits and 110 at-bats, and another foul tip into the mitt. Now down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. Breaking pitch on that outside corner, and Sanders gets the call. His first strikeout of the ball game.
Now batting for Southwest, number 20, B.J. Banyan.
B.J. Banyan doubled in the left field. Drove in a run for the Salukis, and he taps one foul toward the third base coach. Head coach Eric Schoenrock down there at third base. Two outs, one runner on. Breaking pitch misses the zone. B.J. Banyan, also a transfer from Memphis University. Former Hoptown Hopper in the Ohio Valley League. Breaking pitch, that'll catch the inside corner for a called strike. Cade Sanders out on the mound is a former Henderson Flash. Also in the Ohio Valley League. Several players here played. Carter Vrabel a couple years ago with the Franklin Duelers. Chase Mizell out in right field, formerly of the Paducah Chiefs. Ethan Huddleston will be playing with the Full Count Rhythm this summer. Ohio Valley League well represented. I believe even Anthony Zarlingo also played there. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off the brick facade in the behind home plate. Zarlingo and Blake Rowe, I believe, played in the OVL. It's a summer wood bat league, collegiate league that Kentucky, one team in Indiana. Tapper to Gotze over his head as he was holding the runner on. Jace Mizell picks it up and gets it back in, throws a BB to Landon Gotze, and Banyan has to get back and crouch down so that he doesn't get hit with that fastball from Mizell, but a Baltimore chop base hit. Banyan now 2 for 2. Thought Gotze was going to have a chance at that. On the play, Brady Holloway moves over to third base. Holloway also played in the Ohio Valley League. I believe he played for the the Fulton Railroaders. Connor Brinkley, switch hitter, steps in, taps one off of his back. He struck out in the first inning, but the ball got away from Braden Vineyard and went far enough away where he could get down to first base, and R.H. Franklin could score the 4th run, and right now that's the difference in the ball game. Runner goes, pitch is high. Hawkins decides not to send that one down to second base. Big jump by Banyan. Stolen base is Banyan's 20th of the year in 25 attempts. Runners now at second and third. Step off by Sanders. That's his 1 for this batter. A walk, fly out, strike out, and a seeing eye base hit. Runners now at second and third after the stolen base. On deck, Copeland Bradford. Sanders and the Pioneers are 1 out away from getting out of this jam. Swing and a miss by Brinkley. Two. It's missed somewhere, I guess high. Breaking pitch, and we're going full. Full Count Ministries, full count. A base open, so you don't want to put something fat in there, but Connor Brinkley hitting .253. Only has 2 home runs, so I want to make him hit it, and he will foul that one off. A full count first pitch foul ball. on the year, 54% of the time here with VolState Pioneer games. If the batter swings on the first pitch after the count becomes full, 54% of the time he fouls it off. Another 3-2 pitch coming from Sanders, and that is a high chopper to Carter Vrabel, who picks it, throws to Godsey. For some reason, Brady Holloway decided not to run on that, even though there are 2 outs. But the ball is called foul. That's another one of those. I kind of thought Vrabel might have let that go, but maybe he didn't think it would kick to the left like the previous one did. Head coach Eric Schoenrock telling Brady Holloway down there, hey, next time go ahead and run home, okay? 4-3 lead for the Salukis. 3-2 pitch coming from Cade Sanders. Drive out to right field. In comes Mizell, and he will not be able to make the diving catch. Falls to the ground. Throw to second base is not going to be in time. Ball appeared to be better hit than it was. Mizell may have been fooled with a swing. That will get in there for a double by Connor Brinkley, and he will drive in 2 runs. So a 2-run double on a flare out to right field. Drives in B.J. Banyan and Brady Holloway. As Southwest Tennessee gets 2 of those 3 runs back, scored by VolState. Now 6 hits for the ball game. Copeland Bradford steps in with a runner at second base. 2 runs in. Another 2-out base hit by a Saluki. Take a 6-3 lead. In the dirt. Gets by Hawkins. Brinkley will move down to third base on the wild pitch. Christian Lynn checked in, assistant softball coach for VolState, said roll nears. There's a break pitch on the inside corner called strike. That ball gets in the dirt and gets by Caleb Hawkins, and another run comes in on another wild pitch. The 3 runs that the Pioneers scored in the top of the third have now been matched by Southwest Tennessee, and the lead is back to 4, 7-3. Copeland Bradford hits now with nobody on and 2 outs. Just outside, and he'll have a full count, Ministries full count. Cade Sanders played 1 year in the full count high school fall league. Won a championship. Hard shot to second base. Matt Hall's got it on 1 hop, throws over to Godsey, and Bradford is retired, but Salukis score 3 runs on 2 hits. A couple wild pitches, and Salukis have a 7-3 lead. After 3 innings, you're watching TCCAA action on the VolState Sports Network. Pioneers will send 6, 7, and 8 to the plate to face Colton Brumley on for his 4th inning of work.
Number 20, Landon Luderman.
Pioneers have gotten back into the game with a 3 spot in the top of the 3rd, but then gave up 3 in the bottom. Now down 7-3 to the number 3 seed, Southwest Tennessee Salukis, formerly known as Shelby State years and years ago. Landon Luderman steps in, swings at that fastball. It's low and outside and fouls it off. He grounded out to Tui Cope at second base in the 2nd inning. Game number 3 of the day, game number 3 of the 2-and-out tournament. There's a ground ball that sneaks through the right side for a base hit. Landon Luderman with a leadoff single. And now our Jersey Mike's first sub of the game, Caleb Hawkins, steps to the plate. He came on for the injured Braden Vineyard in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Number 17, Caleb Hawkins.
Hawkins started his collegiate career at Wabash Valley, transferred to Dyersburg State, where he played in 2021. There's a breaking pitch, gets in there for called strike, then transferred to VolState last year, was the number 1 catcher, and now finds himself as the number 2 catcher, but in the ball game right now for the injured Braden Vineyard, down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Caleb Hawkins hitting .237. Has 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Of his 14 hits, 7 are for extra bases, 4 doubles and 3 home runs. Sidearm delivery, and that's poked down the right field line. That'll get down for extra bases. Hawkins on his way to second base. Luderman will drop anchor at 3rd, and the Pioneers have something going here. 0-2 pitch that Colton Brumley dropped down sidearm, and Caleb Hawkins just put the bat out there. Drove one down the right field line. Back-to-back hits for VolState brings up Big J Charla. Tripled to right center field and scored on a wild pitch. Sun shining in that window all the way on the left side. There's a ground ball to first base. That's off the glove of Brady Holloway. 1 run will score. Here comes the second. And that will be an E3, 2 runs scored, no RBIs, but 2 on the board for VolState nonetheless. So an E3 on a hot shot by Jay Charla, putting the bat on the ball. Second error for Southwest Tennessee. Pioneers cut the deficit in half, now down 7-5. Matt Hall steps in, swings at the first pitch he sees. Fouls that one off, an MGM Industries foul ball. Reagan, we might need to put a shade or something up there in that upper left-hand corner. You're covered by it, but, you know, that's what we do. We try to take care of the producer here. A 1 pitch misses just inside to the second baseman for VolState. On deck, Ethan Huddleston, leadoff batter. One count. Jay Charla will be encouraged to go back to first base with a throw over to first by Brumley. Charla probably not going to be running here unless it's a hit and run. The throw back to first base. Pioneers came in today with 72 stolen bases, had only been caught 3 times according to the stats. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. I think they had gone like 60-0 or 55-0 before getting their first one. I know 2 of those 3 stolen base or caught stealing are on first and third situations, and they scored runs. Yanked low and outside. Nice play by Bradford to snag that one before it goes to the backstop. Logan Kimberlin on the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard up here. Just a bit low. Brumley wanted that call. With a full count Ministries, full count. Hear the ping of the bat. Motlow State and Chattanooga State will be playing in game number 4. There's a chopper down the left field line. It will go foul. It's got to be Chat State down there in the hitting cage, right? Number 2 team in the conference, number 19, I think, in the country in Division I. Rankings just came out. Walter State number 1 and Chattanooga State 19. Sidearm delivery, another foul ball straight back. Matt Hall hanging tough. Colton Brumley has a couple different arm slots that he'll come out of. He'll come out 3/4, but then also look like it's coming sidearm, but then it almost looks like he raises it a bit, but it still comes out of a different arm slot. Let's see what he does here in another 3-2 pitch. He stays sidearm and another foul ball. Guess that wasn't as quite as sidearm as he normally or can do it. This is game 3. Dyersburg State defeated Columbia State in game 1. Seems like 3 days ago. 4-2 was the final of that one. Walter State ruled Roan State 11-1. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Brinkley over to second base, and Tui Cope has to fight that one off for the fielder's choice. The first out of the inning, Jay Sharla is retired on the 6-4. Brings the top of the lineup, Ethan Huddleston, who's
now batting for VolState.
0 for 1. He flew out in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third, ended up coming around to score on a double by Jace Mizell. Breaking pitch misses outside. Huddleston came in hitting .293, 44 hits, 5 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. Been all over in the lineup, but here of late, he's been the leadoff batter. Taps one to the third baseman. Harrington will throw to Cope on to first base, and he will be safe. He'll get the force again. Could not get that turn as Huddleston able to beat that one out. The Pioneers still hitting here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 runs have scored. Down 7-5, and the tying run is at the plate in the person of Jake Burris. Fastball misses outside. Burris with 2 long balls on the year, 34 RBIs. Hitting .298, 0 for 2 today, and a run scored. 12 doubles. Started to go there and then pulled away. This is game number 51 of the year for Jake Burris. He's played in all but 1. Laney Godsey and Jace Mizell as the throw goes over to first base. Carter Vrabel played in every game for the Pioneers this year. And except for an ejection, Jake Burris would have played in every game. His mama doesn't want me to talk about that. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up. That'll get out of play. Sun is shining on the fans sitting in the stadium seating, or the aluminum seating down the first base line, right in their eye. Shining right into the Southwest Tennessee dugout as well down the first base line. 2 balls and a strike to Jake Burris, the center fielder. He fouls another one off toward the hospitality pavilion. Heads up Bobby Hudson, athletic director for VolState. He's doing it all, folks. He's taking money at the ticket booth. He's grilling hamburgers, hot dogs, bologna, and down at the hospitality pavilion, and making sure everything's running smoothly here for the tournament. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Burris turns away from that one. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Ethan Huddleston will be on the move. R.H. Franklin is moving in from his right field position. He has come in very shallow. Jake Burris has a lot of power to right field. Don't know that that's advisable. We'll see what happens on this 3-2 pitch. Hey, look at there, a full count. First pitch foul ball. 4 for 5 on the day. 41-14, a big turnaround for Southwest Tennessee this year. A year ago, they were 26-32, only 5-21 in conference. There is strike 3 call to Jake Burris. Looked at too many pitches on that outside corner, and this one rung up by Brian Sheets. Pioneers score 2 runs on 2 hits. Was a big error. And 1 runner left on base. 7-5, Salukis lead. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Tanner Bumbelow on in relief of Cade Sanders. Bumbelow in his 6th appearance, 4th in relief, 4.61 ERA, 13 plus innings of work, 13 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. Walked 1, struck out 16 batters, opponents hitting .245. A Cleveland State transfer will deliver a pitch to the leadoff batter, Tui Cope. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, sails a fastball high. Cade Sanders goes 2 innings, gives up 2 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. Walked 2, struck out 1. Salukis lead 7-5. There's a ground ball that will sneak by the diving Matt Hall. Tui Cope on base for the 3rd time for Southwest Tennessee. Just can't keep him off the base paths.
Now batting for Southwest. Number 2, Anthony Zarlingo.
Zarlingo, the switch hitter, steps in. Throw over to first. Cope singled in the first, was picked off. Walked in the second. Fastball in the outside corner, called strike. Zarlingo was doubled up in the second as he was trying to go to third base on a ground out to the third baseman. Carter Vrabel picked it up, threw it to Landon Godsey at first. Cope rounded second, trying to make it to second. To return throw, though, was in time to get Cope at third as that pitch, good bit outside into the right-handed batter's box, called strike 2. Zarlingo steps out, shakes his head a bit. See if Cope goes on this pitch. Wanted to go swinging and a miss. The batter is out, but Cope will move down to second base on the pass ball. Not sure what's happening here. Not sure if it's hard to see. First strikeout by Bumbleow, but almost looked like Zarlingo had gotten a piece of that, but apparently did not. Second pass ball of the game, won by each of the catchers. Braden Vineyard is the starter, not in the game anymore. It was injured on a ball in the dirt. Now 1 out and the runner at second base. Tyler Harrington steps in. Player of the year. Leads this club in about every statistical category. 0 for 1 today. Walked and scored in the first, grounded out in the second. Lines one out to center field. Matt Hall goes back and he gloves that one for out number 2. So a soft line drive. Nice play by Matt Hall to get that one. Two outs now and a runner at second. Brady Holloway steps up. He's been on base both times. He's been to the plate, singled in the first, walked in the third, scored both times. There's a ground ball that'll get by Landon Godsey. Mizell up with it. Throw to the plate. Nice throw. Will be in time, but the throw will be dropped. RBI single by Brady Holloway. That was one of those tweeners just a little bit short of Hawkins. You either need a nice hop, a throw to land a little farther out in front of you, or come all the way to the plate. But Tui Cope scores the 8th run of the ball game for Southwest Tennessee. 2 hits in the inning. Now 8 for the game. Bryce Turner steps in. 0 for 1. Throw to first base. Holloway back. That ground ball just eluded Landon Godsey's glove. Got into right field. Jace Mizell with a very strong arm. But he had a very fast runner he had to try to gun down. There's a fastball at the knees for a called strike. Turner not happy about that call. Salukis 4 in the first, 3 in the third, and now 1 here in the 4th inning. take an 8-5 lead. Ground ball up the middle. Huddleston will glove and do a little sidestep onto the bag at second base to force Holloway. 6 unassisted. 2 hits in the inning, produced 1 run. Key passed ball. Make that run unearned. So not an error on the error sheet, but 1 runner left on base. 8-5 after 4. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Lanny Gotze will lead off for the Pioneers here in the top of the 5th inning. Gotze, Mizell, and Vrabel to face Colton Brumley. Wonder what the most pitches Brumley has thrown this year in a game. There's a breaking pitch, catches that outside corner. I bet it's over 120. He is like he's got a rubber arm. He can just throw and throw and throw. There's a shot there. Will get into left field just past the outstretched glove of Connor Brinkley, and a second hit for Landon Gotze. Chase Mizell steps to the plate.
Now batting.
He double drove in 2 runs in the 3rd. Flew out to right field on the first pitch he saw to end the 1st. Just past 6 p.m. Central Time. Swings again at the first pitch, fouls that ball off. Head coach Jim McGuire flashing the signs down at third base. Assistant coach John Ripel down at first base. Carter Vrabel standing on deck. Fly ball out to right field. R.H. Franklin will come in and make the catch. Second fly out to right for Jace Mizell. 1 out. Carter Vrabel steps to the plate, 0 for 2.
Next at bat for VolState, number 10, Carter Vrabel.
Got some fans lining out there in left field in lawn chairs. There's a breaking pitch. It gets in at the knees. Nice pitch by Brumley. Vrabel not enticed at all to go after that pitch. Vrabel also a transfer from Wabash Valley in his 2nd year. Swings and misses at that high breaking pitch. 12 home runs and 40 RBIs a year ago for Carter Vrabel. Hit .250 for VolState. Has a higher batting average this year. Came in hitting .311, but the home run production is down. He has 8 long balls and 33 RBIs this year. And 11-game hitting streak on the line. Last 10 games, he's got 7 RBIs, a home run, and 5 doubles. That pitch misses low and away. From Father Ryan High School here in Nashville, Tennessee. Grandparents in Akron, Ohio, and Dubuque, Iowa. Shout out to Chuck and Elaine. Here's fisted to first base. Holloway throws in the dirt. That gets into left field. Gotze will move on to third base on the errant throw by Brady Holloway. Vrabel will reach on the fielder's choice. Gotze moves to third on the third error of the ball game. Out of the dugout will come, not sure if this is a pitching coach right here. Could be Barry Hyatt or Elliot Bush. It's not head coach Eric Schoenrock. Have a powwow. Maybe talk a little bit of defense here. We have a line-to-line runners at the corners, and Landon Luderman will step in. He singled to right field to lead off the fourth inning. Now steps to the plate with one out and runners at the corners. Thanks to Game Time Sports Field, GTSF. You see their sign out on the left center field wall, and line-to-line, their outfield signs on the right center field wall. They are the folks that are handling the ground maintenance this week for both the baseball field and the softball field. Bill Marbett, Stephen Dotson, and their crew working hard. We've had a lot of precipitation in the last couple days. Tarp's been on the field and off the field several times. Landon Luderman, the tying run. Yet to hit a collegiate home run. 9 RBIs, 1 extra base hit. There's a pitch right down the can. Strike one. One out, runners at the corners. That's a excuse me base hit into right field. Franklin will come in and grab that one, but Luderman now with an RBI single as Gotze comes in. Vrabel moves up to second base. Eight to 6, Southwest Tennessee leads VolState.
Next to bat for VolState.
Second hit of the inning.
Caleb Hawkins.
7th hit. That ball gets away from Bradford, and both runners move up into scoring position. The tying run now at second base. Pitch down in the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Hawkins had a reach out and touch me double down the right field line. His first at bat. Putting runners at second and third. And a hard hit ground ball by Jay Sharla. That was booted by Brady Holloway. Scored 2 runs in the 4th inning. Holloway now with 2 errors. 1 of fielding and 1 of throwing. 3-1 pitch to Hawkins. Just gets a piece of it. We'll go to a full count. Ministries full count. About 5 weeks of mission trips this summer to Nicaragua for the full count folks. Heading to various parts of Nicaragua. 3-2 pitch to Hawkins, and he does foul it off. 7 hits for the Pioneers, 6 runs. 3 big errors out there on the board for Southwest Tennessee. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Hawkins just swung at ball 4. 4th strikeout for Brumley. And the second out of the inning brings up Jay Sharla.
Next at bat for VolState.
Sharla tripled in the 3rd and scored and smashed that hard ground ball that Holloway could not handle. 2 runs scored. He is 1 for 2. Looks at a breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Drive down the right field line, but it will hook into the. He catch that down there in the bullpen? Looks like one of the players down there in the Salukis bullpen must have caught that ball on the line. 0-2 pitch coming. Jay Sharla looks at a fastball inside. Brumley put a little bit of extra giddy up on that one. That sidearm delivery shouldn't matter as much to the left-handed hitter. Sharla started to go. They want to check with the base umpire. There's Tim Taylor out there who says that Sharla did not go. Thanks for checking in on the chat. Hello to Brian R. and Gabrielle Harvey. Go Coach Show. It's Eric Schoenrock in Southwest. Breaking pitch misses down and in. We'll have another Full Count Ministries full count. Gavin Peterson says, let's go. Evan Petrie. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for on the YouTube chat. 3-2 pitch. Breaking pitch missed. I have no idea where, and Colton Brumley has no idea either. Jay Sharla was starting to head back to the third base dugout, but he will take the stroll down to first base, and the bases will be loaded. That's the first walk of the ball game by Colton Brumley. Brings up Matt Hall with 2 outs and the bases loaded. 1 run in. And a big opportunity right here for VolState. Fastball misses outside and high. Foul ball off the screen behind home plate. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Hall 0 for 2, fly out and a fielder's choice. We're in the top of the 5th inning. There's a breaking pitch, catches the outside corner. Hall now down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carter Vrabel at third. Landon Luderman at second and Jay Sharla at first base. Hall can get one in a gap. Sharla might score, but he will not. He will go down swinging. Round number 3, 5th strikeout for Brumley. Pioneers score 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 costly error again. That's the 3rd error. 3 runners left on base. Through 4.5 innings. 8-6, Southwest leads the TCCAA Conference Tournament here on the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese and Reagan Smith back at VolState. Game 3 action today on this first game of the 2-and-out tournament between Southwest Tennessee and Volunteer State. Tanner Bumbelow back out on the mound. He'll face 6, 7, and 8 of the Southwest lineup. First pitch swinging. R.H. Franklin just drove one out of the ballpark. That's into the trees over the line-to-line sign. A solo home run. Gets that run back that the Pioneers scored in the top of the 5th inning. Franklin just ambushed that first pitch. That is his 7th home run of the season. 27th RBI. I'm sorry, that's his 30th RBI. He had 2 earlier. He's 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. That one sails over the head of B.J. Banyan, who's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. 9-6, excuse me. Lead by Southwest Tennessee. Swing and a miss. That was a no-doubter. Jake Burris took about 3 steps toward the right center field gap and watched that one go into the bushes, into the trees. 3:20 down the lines here at Pioneer Field. 2 balls and 1 strike. Umpire just showed 2-1, now 2-2. You got it, Logan? .320 down the lines, 345 in the alleys, 380 to dead center field. Soft line drive, the Carter Vrabel gloves for out number 1. Connor Brinkley will step up, switch hitting shortstop. 1 for 2.
Next to bat for Southwest.
Had a
Number 15.
little bloop into right field that Jace Mizell tried to make a diving catch. 2 outs, but it dropped and got by Mizell. Ended up a double for Brinkley and 2 RBIs. That was Brinkley's 4th double of the year. Breaking pitch gets in there for a called strike. Hello to Joanne Robb watching from Texas. She says, go Southwest Tennessee. Patriot, Indiana checking in. There's a line drive that'll get down into the right center field gap. Mizell picked that up and strong throw into second base. Brinkley now 2 for 3. Tenth hit of the ball game for Southwest Tennessee.
Now batting for
Patriot, Indiana. Just learned about Patriot, Indiana. I've got a niece and a nephew who've purchased, 300 acres in Patriot, Indiana. I think right there by the river. They live in the Cincinnati area and got a brother who goes down there and drives their tractor around and mows some grass just for the fun of it. Throw to first base. Godsey climbs the ladder to keep that one from going to the wall. Bryce Turner, the DH, is for Southwest, is from Patriot. There's a fastball at the letters for a called strike. Down goes no balls, 2 strikes to Copeland Bradford, who's 0 for 2. Brinkley on at first base with 1 out. Tanner Bumbelow, the 3rd pitcher for the Pioneers. A long look over there before he came to the stretch. And a long pause, fastball high. Bumbelow, a transfer from Cleveland State, 1st-year player for the Pioneers. 2-way player. He'll get in that left-handed batter's box in the DH role from time to time as well. Throw to first, nice move, and a quick tag by Landon Godsey, and Brinkley just able to get back. Brinkley 5 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Very judicious apparently in his stolen base attempts. Not going here. There's a fastball that misses down low. John Cully from Millington, Tennessee says go Southwest. Cody Kirkland, I would assume, is some relation to R.H. Franklin. Breaking pitch missed high. Cody Kirkland says nice hit after, assume that was after R.H. hit the solo shot to lead off the bottom of the 5th here. Parker White started the game for the Pioneers. Gave up 4 runs in the first inning. Pitched to 9 batters. Southwest took an early lead. That was off the end of the bat. Fouled down on the other side of Southwest Tennessee's dugout. Thanks for watching, all you 130 plus folks watching on the VolState YouTube channel. Throw over to first. Back in time is Brinkley. Glad to have you watching and listening along. Full Count Ministries, full count. Popped up in the infield. Carter Vrabel calls for it. He will move to his left, then move to his right and make the catch. Tui Cope steps in with 2 outs and a runner at first base.
Number 13, Tui Cope.
Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. Cope 2 for 2, been on base all 3 times he's been to the plate. 2 singles and a walk, scored 1 run. Swinging from the left side. Runner goes, pitch called a strike. Caleb Hawkins drops the ball. Brinkley will get a stolen base. But the count goes no balls and 2 strikes to Cope. Runner in scoring position. Southwest Tennessee with a 3-run lead. Still batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, and Bumbleow gets Cope swinging. That is Tanner Bumbleow's 2nd strikeout of the ball game. A solo home run by R.H. Franklin. 2 hits, 1 runner left on base. We're through 5, scheduled for 9 innings. Southwest Tennessee leads 9-6. You are watching the VolState Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Southwest Tennessee Salukis. On in relief of Colton Brumley, number 14, Christian Robb, a 6'2", 160-pound. As I look out there, might be 160-pound. Sophomore right-handed pitcher from Keller, Texas. That may be Joanne Robb's relation right there. Keller, Texas, maybe her son. On in relief with a 9-6 lead. Colton Brumley goes 5 innings, gives up 7 hits, 6 runs. I believe 4 were earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Did hit a batter, and that would be this young man stepping to the plate right now, Ethan Huddleston, who will be the first batter to face Christian Robb, who is on for his 13th appearance of the year, all in relief, a 1.84 ERA, which leads the Salukis. 14-plus innings worth of work, 7 hits, 3 runs. They were earned, walked 8, struck out 15 batters.
Number 3, Ethan Huddleston.
Huddleston 0 for 2, scored after being hit by a pitch. First pitch from Robb misses high. In there to protect the 3-run lead as the Pioneers bat in the 6th. Huddleston has played shortstop here for VolState. Last year played second base while Josh Griffin was at shortstop, and he takes a healthy hack at that 2-0 pitch and comes up empty. Two 2-1 pitch in there for a called strike. Christian Robb pitched in game number 1, game that the Pioneers won 6-5. Time was called right as Robb was starting to deliver. Huddleston apparently asked for time, maybe had something caught in his eye. Peyton Charles started that game, went 7 1/3, gave up 5 solo home runs. Christian Robb, inning and 2/3, gave up 1 home run. That was ends up being the deciding run. Charles gets the loss, though, as Robb came into the game. The Pioneers were leading that game. Slow breaking pitch, nice pitch by Christian Robb. Ethan Huddleston way out in front of that one. Jake Burris steps in. He's 0 for 3.
Number 14, Jake Burris.
In that game, that first game of the series, Southwest Tennessee took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first, and then first home run in the top of the 4th tied the game. There's another breaking pitch from Robb. Southwest Tennessee took a 2-1 lead, and then 3 solo home runs in the 7th. Gave VolState the lead that they would never give up. Won that game 6-5. Burris just missed that breaking pitch that probably ended up a little farther inside than Robb wanted that. .84 ERA is pretty minuscule. It looks like Robb averages just a little bit over 1 inning per appearance. Hitters are hitting only 152 off of him. There's a ground ball that will get through by the glove of Robb as well as the glove of Tui Cope. There's a base hit for Jake Burris. Robb gave a little bit of a grunt as he delivered that pitch. Jake Burris now with a 4-game hitting
Next
streak.
to bat for VolState, number 30.
Came in
Landon
12 of 34
Godsey.
in the last 10 games, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. And now Landon Godsey, who's 2 for 3, steps in. Swing and a miss on a fastball that handcuffed Godsey, first baseman from Indianapolis, Indiana. Backup catcher a year ago, moved out to first base. He's done a fantastic job on defense there at first base, and by virtue of his second team all-conference, he's obviously had a great year at the plate as well. Pops that one up. That should get out of play, and it will. Over by the Motlow State crew that's gathering for our game number 4. Well, they will take on the Chattanooga State Tigers in a 2 versus 7 matchup, scheduled to begin 7:30. 15 runs scored and 18 hits in this game. Might push that back a bit as everything goes according to Hoyle. We have 4 more innings of baseball here in game 3 of the day. Godsey down in the count, 0-2. Swings and misses at a high fastball. Second strikeout for Rob. And that brings Jace Mizell to the plate.
Number 34, Jace Mizell.
Mizell 1 for 3, has 2 flyouts to right field and a double down the left field line that drove in 2 runs in the third. Burris on at first base. Swing and a miss on a pitch that just fell away from the plate. Guessing that was a changeup of some sort. Didn't look like maybe a cutter. Carter Vrabel on deck, hoping to get an at-bat here in the 6th inning. Drove hard by the third baseman, Tyler Harrington. I couldn't see that pitch or that ball off the bat, didn't know where it went. See if I can watch it again on a replay here.
Next to bat for VolState.
Be a base hit into left field for Jace Mizell. Runners now at first and second. Carter Vrabel stepping in. 0 for 3, looking to increase that current hitting streak to 12 games. Could tie the ball game up with a long one. 8 home runs, 33 RBIs. That fastball sails high. Jory M says, let's go Pioneers. Sandy Elgood watching from VII, Indiana. VEVAY, Indiana. That pitch nearly hit Vrabel, and it gets by Bradford, and both runners will move up. Carter Vrabel has been plunked 8 times this year. 3rd on the squad. Appeared as though he didn't want to get plunked on that one. Wild pitch in my book. Moves Jace Mizell to second and Jake Burris to third. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs and a 2-0 count to Carter Vrabel. Got the pitch he wanted. He just missed it, though. Fouled that one straight back. Rob looks in for the sign. Going to be multiple ones being flashed by Bradford with a runner at second base. He's got the one he wants. Another foul ball off to the right side. Carter Vrabel just has not timed up Christian Robb yet. Colton Brumley, one of the top pitchers in the country, gave up 7 hits to his former teammates, or at least a few of his former teammates. Pitched his first 2 years of junior college here at VolState and then transferred to Southwest Tennessee. Those COVID years. Fly ball to left center field over as Zarlingo, and he will make the grab for out number 3. 2 runners stranded at second and third. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 runners left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 6th. Southwest Tennessee leads 9-6. You're watching TCCAA action on the VolState Sports Network. Anthony Zarlingo will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. 2, 3, and 4 scheduled. To face Tanner Bumbleau, and Zarlingo turns around on the first pitch that he sees. It's called for a strike. Zarlingo 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a do-dat double play. He will tap one toward the on-deck circle. Tyler Harrington will pick it up. Looks like Zarlingo fouled that one off of his front foot. Over at the Nichols Softball Complex, Montlow State leading Jackson State in an elimination game in the top of the 6th inning, 4-0. 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of that one. Eric Schoenrock will take a look at it as Brian Sheets started heading down, the home plate umpire, and Coach Schoenrock will just toss that one out of play into the VolState dugout. 0-2 pitch. This is outside. Flag is flying at a half staff today and will be through the 11th in honor of memory of those that were lost in the Texas shooting a couple days ago on May 6th. Order across the country to be flown at a half staff. Can't remember the total count now, but way too many mass shootings. That ball is lifted out to center field. Jake Burris standing in the shade makes the catch for out number 1. That is the first time that the Pioneers have retired the first batter of the inning. Dewey Cope singled. Dewey Cope walked. Brady Holloway walked. Dewey Cope singled. And R.H. Franklin homered in the first 5 innings. And there's the player of the year with an opposite field base hit for his first knock of the game. 1 for 3 now for Tyler Harrington. And a 5-game hitting streak. th hit of the ball game for Southwest Tennessee. Brady Holloway steps in. He's got 2 of those hits. Has yet to be retired. An 11-game hitting streak now for Holloway. He hits a shot to Huddleston, who bobbles, throws to first, and that will be up the line a bit. That ball was hit sharply, but Huddleston could not handle. That'll be the first error for VolState. On the play, Harrington moves down to second base. Ethan Huddleston tried to recover. At first, he was going to try to go to second base, maybe turn 2, but just mishandled that hot shot right at him. And then he tried to throw on the run to first, but Holloway able to get to first before the throw. Bryce Turner steps in from Patriot, Indiana. Breaking pitch, called a strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Bumbelow peers toward the plate. Now looks back to second base and throws a strike that is fouled off back into the catcher's mitt by Bryce Turner. Tanner Bumbelow looking for a little easier ground ball, I guess, to a middle infielder. See if he can get a do-dat double play. Bryce Turner came in hitting .346. There's a ground ball that'll get up the middle and through. So get another run across for Southwest Tennessee as Bryce Turner is an RBI single. Right now that run is unearned, but depending on what happens after this as to whether or not it becomes earned. 10-6 now for Southwest Tennessee. This is looking very similar to the conference game a year ago that Southwest Tennessee won 11-8. R.H. Franklin steps in. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a home run. Breaking pitch misses high. Action in the Pioneer bullpen. Breaking pitch catches the plate. Noah Eatman warming for VolState down in the bullpen. Franklin with 1 out and 2 on. Changeup misses down in the dirt, blocked nicely by Caleb Hawkins. Franklin now with 7 home runs on the year, and I misspoke earlier, said he had 30. He's got 29 RBIs. Fisted, and that will be caught behind second base by Ethan Huddleston with Matt Hall flashing behind him. Thankfully not in front of him. That would not have been good for the Pioneers if They fought over that soft line drive. 2 outs now for B.J. Banyan. It's 2 for 3. He had a soft liner to Carter Vrabel at third base in the 5th. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. Scheduled for 9 innings here in all these contests in the TCCAA conference tournament. Breaking pitch popped up in the infield on the right side. Landon Godsey moves over into foul territory, and he will make the catch for out number 3. But Southwest Tennessee pushes across an unearned run on 2 hits, 1 big error, and 2 runners left on base. 10-6, Southwest Tennessee leads. We're heading to the 7th. You are watching the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese and Reagan Smith back for the top of the 7th inning, and a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Salukis. The third pitcher on for head coach Eric Schoenrock. Wesley Cully, left-hander out of Millington, Tennessee. Arlington High School transfer from Freed Hardman. 6 foot, 205-pound left-handed sophomore. He will see a pinch hitter for Landon Luderman, the DH. That will be Drew Webster, freshman from Christ Presbyterian Academy.
Leading off the top of the 7th for the Pioneers, number 7, Drew Webster.
Landon Luderman went 2 for 3. Drove in a run, scored a run. Been a little bit since Drew Webster's been in the box, and he swings at the first pitch and grounds the ball up the middle, and that will sneak through for a base hit. Drew Webster in his 8th game of the year, his 14th official at bat, gets his 4th hit of the year on the first pitch he sees from Wesley Cully.
Now batting for VolState,
Caleb Hawkins will step in. It's the 9th. I got 9 hits. Am I off on my hit calculator? Nope. That's 10 hits. I just missed that one in the first inning. 10th hit of the ball game. We've got 22 hits and 16 runs here in Game 3. Low-scoring affair in Game 1 of the day. 4-2 win by Dyersburg State. Caleb Hawkins looks at a 1-0 pitch on the inside corner. Walters State, 11-1 victory, scored 7 runs. in an inning to blow that game open. And every time Southwest Tennessee gets up, the Pioneers score some runs. Ball's lifted out to shallow right field. That may drop, and it will, right in front of R.H. Franklin, who unable to glove it on the first hop. Caleb Hawkins will get a bloop single in the right field. Runners now at first and second for VolState. Drew Webster gets into second base. It brings to the plate Jay Sharla. See if Coach McGuire wants to play a little small ball right here with left-handed hitting Jay Sharla, who has a triple, reached on an error, and walked. You might want to put runners in scoring position here with one out. Play for 2 runs here. Sharla does not square. He taps one. That looks like it was going to go fair. Jay Sharla did not run at first, and then he started to take off. I thought it looked more like it was going to be in fair territory than foul, but apparently the sun playing havoc with me here. Sharla has 2 sacrifice bunts. But he's not bunting there. Trying to go the opposite way, I guess. Trying to shoot one between short and third. Wide open is Tyler Harrington playing straight up. Actually, semi looking for the bunt. There's a breaking pitch that gets in there for a called strike. Big Jay Sharla now down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Matt Hall on deck. Drew Webster pinch hit for Landon Luderman and grounded a single up the middle. Caleb Hawkins fought one off that flared into right field. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Wesley Cully yanks that one outside. Nice stop by catcher Copeland Bradford. Coming up on 7 p.m. here in Middle Tennessee. Game got underway just a little after 4:30 p.m. Fastball goes over the head of the 5'9", 165-pound left fielder for the Pioneers. Did not start out the season as the starting left fielder, but has been there for the last several weeks. Shortstop moves the runner back to second base. Copeland Bradford, the catcher, apparently was not expecting the pitch to come in, as that was an awkward reception of that fastball. I think he was expecting the pitcher to step off as his shortstop was standing on second base. Well, a full count. Ministries full count. Sharla was down in the count 0-2, now worked at 3-2, and he will take a walk. This one, that pitch not as close. So the first 3 have reached. We might have us a pitching change. Coach out to talk to Wesley Cully and the entire Southwest Tennessee infield. Brings up Matt Hall with the bases loaded and nobody out. Action in the bullpen, but Cully will be left in the ball game. Hall 0 for 3, struck out in his last at-bat on a high fastball.
Now batting for VolState, number 2, Matt Hall.
Hall will face someone other than Colton Brumley for the first time. He was the last batter to face Brumley before he was removed. Christian Robb went an inning, gave up 2 hits and no runs, struck out 2. Wesley Cully has allowed 2 singles And now a walk. Nearly hits Matt Hall as his teammates should be yelling, "Take it in the hip, we have ice." Backs away from that fastball. On deck, leadoff batter Ethan Huddleston. Cully is struggling with the strike zone now. 2 balls and no strikes. As a right-hander warms in the Saluki bullpen. Count goes 3 balls and no strikes. Three balls, no strikes on the batter. We got a slow clock there. We are efforting for the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard. Matt Hall gets an easy RBI and a 4-pitch walk. Research staff and spotter Devin Thrain telling me that number 8 Hayden Collins is warming up in the bullpen. Ethan Huddleston steps in with bases loaded, still nobody out, 1 run in. Timeout called as the catcher will step out there, probably to give Collins a little bit of extra time to loosen up. Drew Webster scores after leadoff single. He moved to second on Caleb Hawkins' flare out to right field. Jay Charla and Matt Hall have walked. Driven in a run. Ethan Huddleston, the shortstop, 0 for 3. Steps into the box. It appears as though Wesley Cully will face Ethan Huddleston. Huddleston looks at a called strike. Definitely want to take a pitch there after back-to-back walks make Cully throw strikes. Middle infield with double play depth. Fouled off to back to the right side, an MGM Industries foul ball. Troy says, "Let's go, Huddy." One of the nicknames for Ethan Huddleston. A 4-time full count high school fall league champion. Just missed. I'm guessing that's a changeup there. Tough to take that pitch on 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Ethan Huddleston. Looking to put something in play here. Backs away from another fastball inside. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jay Charla worked a walk after falling behind on an 0-2 count, but Huddleston now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pops one up to the right side. That may be playable. Brady Holloway over, and he'll watch that bounce off the top of the dugout and fall harmlessly to the Motlow State Bucks, who are sitting right behind the dugout. No Bucks were harmed with that foul ball. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lady Pioneers softball team off to the left of the press box, watching along with Ethan Huddleston's girlfriend Rachel, sitting next to Ethan's mother. Fists one, that will be a soft line drive to second baseman Tui Cope for the first out. Ethan Huddleston now 0 for 4. Jake Burris steps to the plate after getting a little intel from Ethan Huddleston.
Number 14.
Burris 1 for 4. And Jake Burris will battle you all day long. Fastball missed somewhere. Waiting for Brian Sheets to raise that right hand on that pitch. Not sure where it missed. Maybe it missed inside. Jake says that looked like the same pitch. Now he taps his chest as though it's my bad. It looked like a pretty good hittable pitch. Anthony Zarlingo in left, B.J. Banyan in center, R.H. Franklin out in right field. Playing straight away. Fastball across the outside corner. Good pitch right there from Wesley Cully, who's a pitch away from getting out of the inning. The ball's hit to the right side. I don't know that Brinkley would be able to get over and cover the bag and throw Burris out, but both the middle infielders playing a little bit farther away from the bag than I would be if I'm trying to turn two. There's a foul ball straight back. Pioneers looking for that one big hit to get back in the ball game. 10-7. Scored 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh. Still batting in the top of the seventh inning. We're scheduled for 9 innings here in game 3 of the day. Breaking pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Bradford. As Caleb Hawkins down at third base watching every move that happens back there behind the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Burris. Landon Gotze hoping to get an at-bat. Stands on deck. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. We'll have a full count, Ministries. Full count. Hayden Collins has got to be ready down in the bullpen now. If Burris were to walk, I would assume that's the last batter Wesley Cully will face. Three-two pitch. Grounded to third. Harrington bobbles but steps on third to get Jay Sharla. But a run does score. Score now 10-8. Jake Burris reaches on a fielder's choice.
Next to bat for VolState, number 30.
Landon Gotze will step in.
Gotze.
2 for 4. On the play, Matt Hall moves down to second base. Charlotte erased at third. 2 outs, 2 on. There we go. You know what? You might need to plug that thing in. I don't know if having a little trouble with the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard here. Landon Gotze looks at a pitch on the inside corner at the knees. I'm not sure if we're having an issue there, or if you're trying to operate it underneath the countertop, maybe is the issue. Have to put it up on this nice new black countertop, laid down by Dan Zettel, stepfather of Ethan Huddleston. Swing and a miss. Tailing fastball. Wesley Cully ahead in the count, 0-2, as he has been on 2 other occasions. Wesley Cully on for appearance number 15 on the mound. Strike 3 called on a fastball in the inside corner, and Gotze goes down looking. Pioneers score 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, 2 runners left on base. 10-8, Southwest Tennessee leads. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese, Reagan Smith, the producer for this broadcast.
Connor Brinkley.
We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Connor Brinkley, Copeland Bradford, and Tui Cope scheduled to appear. Face Tanner Bumbleow back out on the mound. First pitch swinging. Drives the ball deep to center field. Jake Burris gets turned around and makes the catch after he makes a 180. 4-out number 1, second inning in a row that Jake Burris has handled the first out on the first batter. Copeland Bradford 0 for 3 steps to the plate.
Bradford.
Bumbleow came on in relief in the 4th inning, and it's his 4th full inning of work. Parker White went 1 inning. Cade Sanders went 2. Bumbleow has given up 3 runs, but only 2 have been earned. Unearned run in the 4th, earned run in the 5th, and an unearned run in the 6th. So 1 each inning that Tanner Bumblow's been in. Try to put a 0 on the board here as that one's tapped like a bunt. Bumbleow on it, and he'll throw to first base to retire the catcher, Copeland Bradford. Nice play by Bumbleow. He hopped off that mound. Tanner Bumbelow's nothing but an athlete. Bet he can play some basketball too.
Next at bat for
What do you think,
Southwest.
Logan Kimberly?
Number 13, Tui Cope.
You hadn't seen it. 2 outs, Tui Cope to the plate. He struck out in his last plate appearance. First time that he had been sent back to the dugout without reaching base. 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a run scored, and a walk. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike 2. Bumbleow looking for the first real 1-2-3 inning. Cade Sanders had only faced 3 batters in the 2nd, but walked Cope. Fouls that ball straight back. Cope was walked. And a ground ball by Anthony Zarlingo to third base. Carter Vrabel threw to first, and on the play, Cope was rounding second, tried to get to third base on the ground out. But Landon Godsey threw a strike back to Carter Vrabel to retire Cope at third base with a doodat double play. Next batter retired on a ground out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cope. There's strike 3 called, and Cope will go down looking. 1-2-3 inning. Pioneers will come to bat in the top of the 8th. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Wesley Cully back out on the mound for the Salukis. He'll face 4, 5, and 6. The Pioneer order, down 2 runs. VolState trying to scratch back into this ball game. Scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th to put a 0 on the board. There's a drive out to left center field by Jace Mizell. That'll get down. B.J. Banyan catches it and then drops to the ground, slides out. I'm sure the outfield getting a little bit slick out there. The beginning of the day, there was water everywhere. Tanner Bumbelow, the pitcher's coming out to get the bat. Carter Vrabel tosses it. We'll have a pitching change after that base hit by Jace Mizell. Tell you about him when we return on the VolState Sports Network. Summit Concrete called the bullpen for the Salukis. Hayden Collins, that pitch, check swing, gets by Copeland Bradford. I thought Vrabel had gotten a piece of that, but apparently not. Hayden Collins from Lexington, Kentucky. Did get a piece of that one, fouled that one into the catcher's mitt. Looking for his first hit of the ball game, 0 for 4. Collins from the stretch. Ground ball to short. Play will be to first base. Vrabel out on the play, but Mizell moves up to third base. On the ground out. Hayden Collins, 6'3", 175-pound freshman. Will face Drew Webster.
Number 7, Drew Webster.
At a pinch hit single, stayed in the ball game, swings at the first pitch again. Flies one out to right field. This shouldn't be deep enough, I wouldn't expect. Throw to the plate, and it gets by, but the pitcher, Hayden Collins, backing up the play on the throw that got over the shoulder of Copeland Bradford. So a fly out. Not deep enough to score Jace Mizell from third base, so it'll take a 2-out, well, maybe not a 2-out base hit.
Number 17, Caleb.
Score on a wild pitch or a pass ball. Chase Mizell single to start the inning. Hayden Collins on for his 13th appearance. Gets a called strike there to Caleb Hawkins, who's 2 for 3. Came on after Braden Vineyard got hit on while he was catching on a ball in the dirt. Collins gets Hawkins to pop up in the infield for the 3rd out. After a leadoff single, Hayden Collins comes in and retires 3 batters in a row. 1 hit, no runs, 1 runner left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to the VolState Sports Network. Tim Reese back for the bottom of the 8th inning. Reagan Smith still spinning the dials here, operating the on-screen scoreboard and cutting from camera 1 to camera 2. Anthony Zarlingo steps in and he'll face Tanner Bumblelow. Starts to drop the bat head down as though he's going to bunt, but the pitch outside. Zarlingo 0 for 4. He and Copeland Bradford, the only Saluki hitters without a base hit today. 12 safeties for Southwest Tennessee. Tanner Bumblelow reached back for a little bit of extra right there, but pitch was down low. 3 balls, no strikes to Zarlingo. Does not reach base. Tanner Bumblelow was a month behind in getting on the mound for VolState this year. There's a 3-0 pitch in there on the outside corner. He'd been nursing a upper body injury. Then I think had a little bit of a setback. Thought he was going to be ready for the start of the year, but Coach McGuire eased him in. There's a ground ball to Matt Hall at second. Up with it over to Gotze and will retire Zarlingo 4-3. 3rd inning in a row that the leadoff batter has been retired after 5 straight innings of that not happening. Tyler Harrington got his first knock in the 6th inning, base hit into right field. Later came around to score on a base hit by Bryce Turner. The Conference Player of the Year. Breaking pitch misses down low. Harrington, 445 batting average. Scored 56 runs. 81 hits, 14 doubles, 4 triples, 11 home runs, 69 RBI, second in the league. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. He's a transfer from Memphis, where he went 1 for 11 a year ago in 9 games, and his one hit was a double. Decided to transfer to Southwest Tennessee and has had a monster year for Southwest Tennessee. One of the keys to the successful season. 2 balls and a strike to the third baseman from Lakeland, Tennessee. Swing and a miss on that breaking pitch of Tanner Bumbleow. Attended Briarcrest Christian, 6'1", 210-pound sophomore. Not sure if he's committed to anywhere, but I'm sure if he hadn't, he's got to pick of places. A lot of college 4-year coaches in attendance sitting right behind home plate watching Tyler Harrington swing the stick. A full count Ministries, full count. Line drive just over the leaping Matt Hall into right center field, and that'll get all the way to the wall for a stand-up double. Second hit of the ball game for Harrington. Brings to the plate
Southwest.
Brady Holloway.
Number 34, Brady Holloway.
Sun starting to set. Lights are on here at Pioneer Field at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex. Starting to take effect. Breaking pitch catches that outside corner. Nice pitch by Tanner Bumbleow. 5 out of 9 if you're counting, as I am on the full count. First pitch foul balls. That was a stroke into right center field by Tyler Harrington. 13th hit. There's a swing and a miss. Actually not a miss. Apparently tipped into the glove of Caleb Hawkins. Thanks for joining us on the VolState Sports Network. Send a chat. Let us know where you're watching from, who you are, who you're rooting for. Fastball sails high on the 0-2. Just like John Cully did from Millington, Tennessee. Sandy Elgood, Mindy Turner, Joanne Robb. Fouled off to the left side into the parking lot toward Pickle Fieldhouse here on the campus of Volunteer State Community College. One more game following this one. Motlow State versus Chattanooga State in the Game 4 matchup, 2 versus 7. 1-2. Up down that left field line. Long run for Jay Sharla, and it will go foul. Tim Taylor, the third base umpire, right on the line. A little bit wet out there apparently still, as Mr. Taylor's, looks like he's wiping his feet off now, or his shoes anyway. A lot of rain overnight. Tarp was on the field this morning, but it had been blown off of the infield right about where Carter Vrabel's standing at third base. A lot of water in the outfield. Do the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch again. Bumbleow 2 looks back to second. Fouled to the screen. Holloway singled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the third. Single drove in a run in the fourth. Reached on an error in the sixth. 2 for 3. RBI and 2 runs scored. Extended his hitting streak to 11 games. Runner started to go from second base, and the pitch yanked inside and gets by Caleb Hawkins. I believe that's going to be another pass ball. Not sure if Caleb took his eyes off the ball, was watching the runner on the bluff, but ball was missed in the air. It wasn't that wild, I didn't think. It was inside to Holloway. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now a runner at third base. Two pitch. Smash to the right of Landon Gotze, and that'll be a run for Southwest Tennessee, as Harrington will come in to score. Brody Holloway with his second RBI. And out of the Pioneer dugout will come Jim McGuire, and that will mean the end of the line for Tanner Bumbleow, who pitched into the 5th inning of relief. We'll have a pitching change to Summit Concrete call to the bullpen when we return on the VolState Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Number 39, Noah Eatman on in relief of Tanner Bumbleow. Eatman, a freshman from Parrish, Florida. 6'1", 215-pound right-hander on in relief. Tanner Bumbleow went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, and the runner at first base is his responsibility. Noah Eatman on for his 13th appearance of the year. 3.80 ERA, and he'll face Bryce Turner, the DH, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. First pitch, breaking pitch. Turner swings and fouls it back. Eatman in 23-plus innings, giving up 25 hits, 10 runs. They were earned, 6 walks, 19 strikeouts. He will be on to see if he can induce Bryce Turner into grounding into a double play, but instead throws a fastball high. That is definitely not a double play pitch right there, but he'll take the strikeout if he can get it too. 0-2 pitch to the DH with right fielder R.H. Franklin. I was going to say right-handed Franklin. R.H. Franklin on deck. Pitch misses outside. All appearances by Noah Eatman are in relief. Sure his folks Dave and Monique are watching in Parrish, Florida. 0-2 pitch fouled off straight back. 11 runs, 14 hits, 3 errors for the Salukis. Popped up in the infield. Might be playable for Gotze. He's over toward the dugout in the grass now. Just a half a step onto the warning track in front of the Salukis dugout. Makes the catch for out number 2. R.H. Franklin steps to the plate. 2 for 4. Single and 2 runs driven in the first, and a solo home run in the 5th. His 7th of the year. Fastball catches the outside corner. Franklin now with a 3-game hitting streak. Throw over to first base. Holloway did not look like he was expecting a throw over. He gets back in time. 6 stolen bases in 7 attempts. So it's not like he won't swipe a bag, but Southwest Tennessee comes in with a 2-game winning streak. The longest winning streak they had all year was 9 games. Called strike. Franklin looks back at Brian Sheets and says, "You gotta be kidding me." Now down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the first game of the year, Southwest Tennessee defeated Nunez 19-0. It's the most runs that they scored all year. Swing and a miss. Noah Eatman comes in and retires the 2 batters that he faces. The Salukis score 1 on 2 hits. No errors, 1 runner left on base. 11-8, which is the score from a year ago. We'll see if the Pioneers can find 3 runs off of Hayden Collins going to the 9th. You're watching the VolState Sports Network. Heading to the 9th, Big J Charla will lead off for the Pioneers, facing Hayden Collins. Came on in relief of Wesley Cully in the 8th inning and retired all 3 batters that he faced. Trying to nail down a save. Jay Charla swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. Charla's walked in his last 2 plate appearances, reached on an error, and tripled in the 3rd inning. Looking to get on base any way he can. Apparently not wanting to walk again, though. Swings as he swung at that first pitch. Aggressive hitter. 1 for 2 on base 3 times. Breaking pitch. Copeland Bradford tried to slide that one across on the outside corner. Not able to do it. 2-1. Popped up into left field. Anthony Zarlingo over, and he will make the catch for out number 1. Second baseman Matt Hall steps to the plate. Pioneers down to their last 2 outs.
Number 2, Matt.
Salukis defeated the Pioneers a year ago in a play-in game 11-8. And ended up playing Walter State, the #1 team, lost 12-4, and then lost 6-5 to Motlow State. Their tournament was over a year ago. It was May 8th that these two teams tangled on Mother's Day. Matt Hall starts to go. They'll check down at first base. Jake Wolf says no, he did not go. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Hall is 0 for 3 with a walk. Drove in a run with that walk. There's a line or ground ball, hard hit ball up the middle. Matt Hall gets his first knock of the ball game. Drove that one right back where it started. Brings it to play Ethan Huddleston. Now puts the tying run on deck.
Next at bat for VolState.
Huddleston can put something in a gap or over a fence. He puts one over a fence. He just happens to put it over the fence, the first base line. Breaking pitch just missed down and away. Collins wanted that pitch. Hall on at first base with a single. There's a hard hit ground ball. This could be the ball game. 5-4 to 3. And Southwest Tennessee turns a dudette double play to end the ball game. They win this one 11-8. Nice feed from Tyler Harrington and a nice turn from Tui Cope. Dudette double play, just what the doctor ordered for Hayden Collins to erase the leadoff or the 1-out single. Ethan Huddleston doubled up at second base. Southwest Tennessee wins 11-8. Winning pitcher will be Colton Brumley. He will move to 13-2. Losing pitcher will be Parker White, who will fall to 5-4 on the year. Save will go to Hayden Collins. Let's see if Hayden had a save. That will be his 4th save of the year. Southwest Tennessee will await the winner of this game, and that game will be played tomorrow night at 7:30. Pioneers will wait for the loser of this game. That game will be at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Columbia State will play Roan State tomorrow at 10 a.m. So game 3 is concluded. A game that took 3 hours and 8 minutes with 19 runs and 27 hits. That will take a little bit of time. We'll get it all back together, find out when game number 4 will start. It was supposed to start at 7:30. I'm going to go with maybe about 8:20 would be my guess, maybe closer to 8:25. As Motlow State will take on Chattanooga State. I would assume at least that Chattanooga State would take in and out. So that will take a little bit of time. But thanks for joining us on the VolState Sports Network for the TCCAA Baseball Conference Tournament here in Gallatin, Tennessee. For Commissioner Forrest Chasen and Athletic Director here at VolState, Bobby Hudson. And for Reagan Smith, this is Tim Reese saying so long for now. We'll be back shortly with game number 4 on the VolState Sports Network.